Onskara here. So I'm doing my interview series, Sacred Water, Visionary Women of Freedom. And I'm going to have Krista come on. She's in our community. We met briefly in San Diego this past summer for the 51st anniversary. Hey, Krista. I just sent the invite. Did it work? Okay, it's working. Yay. Hi,
Hi,
Krista.
Abby.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Oh my gosh, it looks so nice in Arizona there. It's pretty mild here today too, but yeah.
Nice. I know it's
Um,
actually a little chilly this morning, but
oh,
I can't
really? Oh,
complain.
wow.
I really can't.
What part of Arizona are you in?
I'm in Tucson, so
Oh,
Southern
cool.
Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the Northern
Yeah.
Desert.
I've just been to Phoenix at the airport and that's it, but I definitely want to
Okay.
come visit Sedona. Yeah.
Yeah, come through.
Yeah. So do you, in your mornings, do you do morning rituals and stuff like that? Or how has your morning been in that regard? Or do you just flow or?
Fun question. I'm definitely a go with the flow kind of person. I have some routines, but I don't necessarily like to do the same thing every day. So I just kind of
Okay.
have like a mixed
Righty.
bag of things based on how I'm feeling. But I love starting my day outside in the sun with my bare
Yeah.
feet on the earth. That's like my main practice.
I love
And
that.
then
That's
usually some type
simple
of,
and like,
yeah,
yeah, good for your
yeah.
mitochondria, just good for the soul, getting your grounding, earthing. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. Connecting to the earth is just a big part of how I feel complete and whole as a person. So,
totally.
yeah,
I hear
being
you.
connected to nature and then getting movement and breath, whether it's going to the gym or dancing in my yard, or I just got a
Yeah.
vibration plate that I'm loving. So, just like
Oh, cool.
getting movement in my body, that vital
Yeah. No,
energy.
I hear you for sure. I know I spent the mornings going for walks with the pups, and that I always find that helpful just to get that sun in. And yeah, and it's so much nicer here right now in Kansas because when I was in Canada over the holidays, it was so cold.
Oh
So
my gosh, I
yeah,
bet.
it's so nice to, yeah,
Really
it's
has you
like,
counting your blessings, huh?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the interview series is called Sacred Water, Visionary Women of Freedom. So I'm curious, how did the sacred water, or I call it sacred water because it's so transformative, find you, or were you looking for it? What was that process like? And then the second part to the question is, who were you before the water, or you connected with the water, and who have you kind of moved into or becoming?
This is such a juicy question. I love talking about water.
Yeah.
I've actually been an advocate for water before I even joined this business
Mm.
space. Like I was, protesting and like making signs and
Amazing.
petitions and like wanting to get the government to leave fluoride out of the
Wow,
water
good for
and all
you.
that stuff.
Good for
So it
you.
just kind of was very natural for me. When I first saw that my friend got a Kangen water machine, I was just kind of like, what is that? But super
Mm.
cool. And like all the nerd talk like went way over my head, but I just
Yeah.
knew that it was the best.
Yeah.
And so a few years later, several years later, I ended up connecting to a friend. And I saw that she was in this business space, but I didn't really know what it was. And then once I kind of dug a little deeper and got educated, I found out that this was a water business with this sacred living water. It just all clicked into place. I was like, oh yeah, I like these are all the things that I want. I want the water anyway. I love the water anyway. I wanted the business opportunity anyway. And so it all just like, when it's alignment, you just know. So,
Yeah. Totally.
but as far as like who I was before versus now, oh my gosh, I was actually just thinking this morning about how the water has impacted me and like taught me so much about myself and
Mm.
just the journey I've been on in terms of like empowerment. I mean, I grew up
Yes.
kind of like a quiet, sheltered girl, and I
Mm.
I always saw myself as being like really big and having impact
Mm.
and having a big personality and all this stuff, but I also felt really limited in a type of way
Okay.
inside my inner world. And so
Yeah.
I feel like recently the water has just been like softening me, because it hydrates us
Mm.
so deeply that
Definitely.
it touches parts of ourselves that have never been touched before,
Yeah.
or maybe have been impacted by like feelings and energy and right and trauma, but not necessarily flushed with living, hydrating water. And so
Yes.
I've literally been upgrading on a cellular level in terms of my frequency, my empowerment, and not so much even wanting to be like so big and powerful, but realizing like the soft kind of power and like
Oh,
that
yeah.
divine confidence. So yeah, that's a
Yeah.
little taste of my before and after.
Yeah, which sort of reminds me a little bit of Michaela, who's a friend of mine, and I did an interview with her, and she was at Elevate, which I want to talk about Elevate as
Yes.
well. And yeah, just that kind of quietness, but there's a loudness, or there can be a boldness to the softness and to the quiet as well. So
Yes.
and also, yeah, just how do you also step into that power in that way? And so I want to talk about Elevate, which was, I guess it was the last kind of big event, right?
Mhm.
Especially in the United States. I didn't end up making it because I didn't have my green card at the time, and I was just dealing with some
Oh.
paperwork stuff, even though I'm in the United States. And anyways, so, but I did see that, yeah, that was when you went for A, so you got to walk and just, be celebrated. So what was that like? And was that your first time kind of in that type of experience to really be celebrated sort of in a collective way for your accomplishments and for, yeah, just moving through your own obstacles, but really being celebrated by community in that kind of way?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, it is really powerful to be seen and celebrated. And sure, in my life, I've definitely had moments of acknowledgement, but that felt very profound, first time walking down a red carpet.
Yeah.
And that award, I actually earned it literally 48 hours beforehand. I had been in this
Whoa.
journey of wanting to reach that 4A rank, which is four times the commission, and it's just a
Yep.
huge, it's just like a sign of like commitment to me of like this
Yes.
is really something that I'm pursuing, and the higher ranks that are going to pay me for life. Like this is just the
Yes.
first milestone,
Yeah.
and to know that I had been going for that for so long and really wanting to be celebrated on the stage, and for that sale, which was originally someone who said no, ended up changing their mind
Woo!
like 2 days before, and I was able to tell
Wow.
my leaders like, hey, I did it.
Yeah.
It was huge because that a lot of the work that's done is so behind the scenes,
Yes.
and it's not like making posts online. It's
Yeah.
not really that at all. It's the inner stuff, is
Yes.
that showing up every day even when you don't always feel like it. It's
Yep.
staying accountable to people in your life that like are wanting the best for you and like wanting to show you where you can grow, like being coachable. There's
Yeah.
so many like little ego deaths and self-belief. And so for that part, honestly, I tried to soak it up as much as I could. I was like, this
Yeah.
is so cool, and also hopefully like a beautiful just symbol of more to come. Like I'm just going to keep
Yes.
getting awards in this space and keep going on stages. So I just am imprinting that in my body as the new normal. So
Yeah,
thank you
that's
for
amazing.
celebrating me. It's such an
Yeah,
honor.
for sure. I love that. And that is something that I talk about, just how the water itself is a symbol of overflow. And I feel like our community, when we allow ourselves to receive in different ways, whether it's, that kind of experience on stage, or whether it's, the relationships that we build behind the scenes, but there's just a level of the water itself symbolically really kind of on a cellular level, through our actual bodies and through our experiences, really embodying that overflow. So I
Hmm.
really love that about our community. And did you go to Okinawa last year as well?
I did not go to Japan
Okay,
last
okay, I
year, but
wasn't
it is
sure.
my
Yeah.
plan to go this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that they're looking at whether it's going to be in Japan because I saw this more. Yeah, so that'll be
The
interesting.
details are up in the air, but as soon as the tickets are available, I will definitely get one. Yeah, the global conventions are huge. Like this last US event was amazing, and every event is so impactful, but the global one is just incredible. When
Yeah.
you see people from all countries, all walks of life, all cultures, all religions, and just these massive teams that are prospering and thriving
Yeah.
and just like giving communities wealth back. It's like the very
Yeah.
thing the world needs. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I that was the big thing when I went to Okinawa last summer. That was my first event and it was in Okinawa. So it was like cool
Ah,
to just jump into the deep end in a way. And
yeah.
seeing especially Malaysia and India, like that really impacted me this year too, in San Diego. But yeah, seeing that for the first time because they have like, they earn $100 American a month, but still, because sometimes one of the objectives we can come across is like, oh, this machine is expensive or this is expensive.
Hmm.
I don't know if you come across that, but seeing it,
Totally.
with someone that earns $100 a month, but they understand what we have here, the vehicle of transformation. And then they get to do that for their families and their communities and like just the ripple effect of the water and its impact. So I
Hmm.
really, really love that. Yeah, so I wanted to ask a bit more about that then. So in regards to objections, how, because I remember also seeing you in Ray's course, you had asked a few questions around that. And just, I feel like for me, anyways, I don't know for you, but some of the inner work is almost having the courage to show up and to be of service in this way because the water, I believe, kind of calls us. It's like it asks us to step into the sovereignty as women, as sisters, to really show what's possible, right? To kind of open our expansion. I remember you saying that at the beginning, just with your own life and just how you've been expanding in certain ways. But how do you kind of deal with objections, especially around money? And how is that process kind of going for you in regards to doing the inner work to be able to support, new team members and new people coming in that you feel you want to be of service with in regards to this
Mm.
water?
I
Kind of a long
love that
question, but
question. And
yeah.
just for reference, so you kind of know where I'm coming from. I did in my early 20s work in the medical field, which was also like a sales-based position. So I've
Okay.
been in these roles of helping
Okay.
people that's also attached to making money, right? It's like I want to help people, but I also want sustenance for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
And so
The
in this
energy
space,
exchange.
yeah, yeah. And like,
Yeah.
can we just admit that that's okay? Like, it's okay to want
Yes.
to get paid to help people.
Totally.
Um, but I think the real key for people when they're not sure about like if they can afford it, and that comes up as a belief in them, it happens to all of us. First of all, like we
Yes.
all have that. It doesn't even
Yes.
really matter what it is. Like we all
Yes.
have that line where we're like, that sounds like a lot of money, or
Yeah.
that's more money than I've spent before, or I've done investments like that before and they failed, so that sounds like a risky amount, or whatever. Like
Right.
all these stories and beliefs. But again, it's like that's a mindset, and so
Yes.
what I really have seen is that the people who want to change their life
Yes.
don't see it as an expense. They see it
Right.
as value that
Yeah.
they're getting. And so when I'm talking to someone, it's like if they want help with figuring out the financial side or finding a more affordable option or finding a payment plan that works for them, like I actually want to help that person get that,
Yes.
instead of just saying like, oh yeah, you're right, you can't afford it, maybe later, save up. Honestly, most people who save up, like, they don't actually come back. Like when you really want change for your life, you don't want to wait. You don't want to wait a few months. You don't want to wait a year. I didn't.
Yeah.
And so when I joined, I put my purchase on a credit card.
Yeah.
And that, to me, that was like the right move because I saw the value, and then I made my first sale like within the first few months when I was in a mentorship.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like you have to reframe your thinking, both as the
Yes.
person who's helping other people, like I'm here to help you find a route and a solution right now
Yes.
because life is valuable and important.
Yes.
and and yeah, and if you're not ready for change and you want to stay at your job, that's fine
Right.
too. But if you don't want to stay at your job and you
Right.
want to be able to work from anywhere, you
Yes.
want to be able to make more money than you could ever make in an hourly job, then
Right.
this is like a space of opportunity. So
Yes.
it's an investment. Yes, you do have to like know the value of it and
Yeah.
do your research. Everyone
Right.
do their research and talk to one of us or whoever. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the income potential is just so high compared to the actual cost that it's a no-brainer to me. And I've talked to people who are experts at network marketing who have been in tons of different network marketing companies, and they've looked at this patented compensation plan and they've
Yeah.
said, there's nothing like it. I
Yeah.
need this. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I
Which
have
is
to
part
say.
of why we've been around 51 years and,
Yeah.
also just in the manufacturing. Like there's no medical grade water ionizer and none of them last 25 to 30 years. Like we have that, and also just in the objections too, it's like, well, what's the price of staying the same, right? If you
Hmm.
actually want change, then we do have this opportunity and vehicle. There was one more thing I wanted to ask about in regards to community. Yeah. Yeah, so in regards to community, are you planning this summer to go, like you said, possibly to Japan? And
Yes. Definitely. Yeah. As soon as everything's announced, I want to like finalize my dates and make sure I have some time to connect with my team and maybe plan some fun events for everyone that's on my team, and then also the bigger teams I know will all have meetups and things and the global convention. And I also heard a rumor that there might be someone in our team leading a retreat. So I
Oh
have a
yeah, I
lot on
saw
my
that too.
mind,
That'd
and
be really cool. Yeah.
yeah, I'm
From
excited
the
to see
huddle
like who
yesterday. That
wants
was
to
a good
come in for
huddle.
all of that and who's going to be there and all the goddesses that are going to surround us.
Yeah. So what have you been finding is the most kind of like working or flow for you in regards to calling in your team members?
Mm. Lately, there's been a new level for me of authenticity. That I feel like there's
Mm,
just this veil that's been lifted and I can't go back.
I love
There's a
that.
purity that I really felt when I joined this space and I told myself, like, I'm going to stay myself. I'm going to be me. I'm not going to do it like other people do it. But, I naturally kind of started talking the way people talk and doing the thing. And something in me just shifted. I'm like, you know what? There's a new rawness that wants to come out in me. It's like letting go of that people
Mm,
pleaser part
yeah.
and just more Krista showing up.
I
And
love
so far,
that.
so good. People are resonating, and like
Yeah.
even in a training I heard recently, they were talking about moving away from more business content to more personal and trending content. And
Mm,
I thought that was really cool because, um, you know, ultimately it's like we want connection. And so
yes.
when you're able to see someone's personality, maybe they're being funny or silly or stupid or whatever, that's like way more interesting than being serious. And so, yeah, like I literally make videos online of me eating eggs. And
Oh yeah, I
that's
saw
what
that.
gets
That's
me
cool.
to
Yeah.
express myself. That puts me in a happy mood. So I actually have something to share. And like,
Yeah.
yeah, so in this business, like you get to just like be yourself
Yeah.
and the rest is all like laid out. So
I love that. So I want to close with that then. So what was it about eggs that like did you stop eating eggs for a while or just like you just like eggs or how did that come about? Like
well, that's cute that you asked. I I was at a festival over the summer and
this
it was a
past
flow
summer?
arts festival. Everyone in
Yeah.
our team does flow arts. And so it was just one of those festival mornings, those mornings and you wake up and you're kind of tired and grumpy because it's been a long, loud night. And so I wasn't feeling my best mood. And I had brought all these eggs with me, like kind of soft, medium boiled eggs in the cooler.
Yeah.
And I just was like, all right, like I know I need to eat to feel better, so let me do it. And all I had, you're camping, so you don't have luxury. All I had was an egg and like a little packet of mustard.
Yeah.
And as soon as I ate it, I realized like it was almost like I was on drugs. Like I was just so happy. Something about the
Mm.
vinegar and the mustard and then the egg, it just like gives me what I need to feel happy. I don't know why. And
Okay.
so I just like was like a light bulb moment. And then eventually a couple months later, I just, for some reason decided to go on live and eat an egg, trying to go live more and connect more with people like and
Yeah.
then people would come up to my friends and acquaintances would come up to me in person, like, "Oh my gosh, I love your egg video." I'm like in shock. I'm like, really? Like, okay, I guess I'll keep doing
Yeah, that's cool. Well, especially if you have gratitude, like it's so simple, but
it.
because did you do the gratitude practice as well, or have you done it a couple
Oh yeah,
times?
yes,
Yeah, yeah,
I've done
yeah.
the 30-day
Yeah,
gratitude challenge a few times. Yeah.
yeah. And it's just a reminder, like little things like that, just to have gratitude, but people connect in that simple way, authentically, and just yeah, love.
Exactly. I think that's where people get tripped up. They're like, "Oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do social media. I don't know what to post." It's like you're missing the point. Like if you're showing
Yeah,
up on social media being anything but yourself, no one wants that anyway. It doesn't matter
yeah,
what you're selling. Be yourself. Like you already have a social media page. You're already posting what you're doing on the weekends. You're already doing it. You're just not getting paid for it. That's the
yeah.
only difference between me and you.
Totally. Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. Is there anything closing that you want to say to anyone that's checking this out? How to reach out or anything like that? Or if they're like on the fence? Yeah, is there any last words that you want to say before we close
Mm.
out?
Yeah, as you asked that, I just feel deeply in my heart this energy of love. And I just want to express like you are loved, and whatever's going on in your life, there is hope and there's possibility. And it just so happened for me and many other women that this water business has been the blessing that has allowed me to level up in so, so, so many ways. So, whatever the challenge is, like, don't let that stop you. Let that be your motivation to step in because we're all here to hold you and love you.
I love that so much. Thank you so much. It's so nice to see you. And maybe I'll see you in the summer or another
Yes, thank
retreat
you,
coming
Abby. Good
up.
to see you again, and we'll
Yeah,
reconnect soon.
definitely. Many blessings. Bye.
Bye.